He knows where you are. You are not forgotten, no. God knows you. He chose you. You're spoken of in heaven. Only God can see inside every human heart. Only God really knows you. And God made you. He loves you as you are. You are not just a face in a crowd. God hears you. He's near you, and He's closer than you think. Only God can see inside every human heart. Only God really knows you. And only God, He truly understands the issues of the heart. Only God, only God. God hears you. He's near you, and He's closer than you think.
The average Londoner can expect to meet in a week more people than his medieval counterpart met in a lifetime. It's precious.
David Winter has retired not once, but 3 times.
It's a bit ironic.
The first job I retired from was at the BBC, 20 years at the BBC as a producer and eventually head of religious broadcasting. I then had 5.5 years as a paid vicar, and I retired from that. And then I had 5 years as a part-time paid vicar, and I retired from that.
Well, you've obviously had a lot of practice at this retirement business. So what are the main difficulties that people face?
Well, I think the first one is sort of loss of status. I mean, people always say to you, what do you do? So if you say retired, a sort of blank look crosses their faces. And I suppose the other thing is the loss of the company, as it were, the people you worked with.
It's also not having a structure or a shape to your day or your week.
Yes, and some people think that'll be the nicest thing. Oh, my goodness, you know, I have had to get up every morning, I've had to catch the bus, the train. But after a few months, it actually tends to pall because you suddenly realise you're not actually doing anything.
Does the Bible tell us anything about retirement?
Well, to be honest, no, because they didn't retire. Until modern times, nobody retired. I think my grandfather was the first generation. He was given a clock. That was what he got when he left. We haven't got an example in the Bible of anybody retiring. You did what you did, and then when you couldn't do it any longer, they propped you in a corner of the house, you know, gave you your meals, and you gave them the benefit of your inspired wisdom. It does tell us a lot, however, about living life right up to the end, you know, to the full.
So how would you suggest that people live life to the full once retired?
My own personal experience is that you have more time to pray and reflect and to listen more, to be a good friend, a good partner, a good father, grandfather, to be all the things that really God has called us to be. And they don't stop when you retire. You can look back at your life and think of all the times when you failed to be any of that, and now here's an opportunity, as it were, to put it right, to adjust one's life in the light of experience and what the Holy Spirit says to us.
If you spend your working life knowing exactly when you're going to retire, then you can prepare for the change of lifestyle both practically and emotionally. But what if retirement forces itself upon you? Linvoy Primus was 35 when injury forced him to retire from the job he loved.
Most of my life has been taken up with football. By the time I was 16, I was training every day, then playing on a Sunday as well. So by the time I was 20 years old, if anyone asked me who Linvoy was, I would have said, a footballer, because that's what my life was all about until I retired at 35. I had to retire through a knee injury. I'd had about 3 years of persistent operations, and if you get to 35 as a footballer, that's quite a benchmark to get to. Retirement and football finishing, my dream was over, but I knew as one door was closing on my playing career that there was another door open for me, because I really believe God had a plan for my life. And through that vehicle of football, we also recognise that there's other skills that people have, and business being one of them.
Along with 2 colleagues, Linvoy decided to set up a charity.
As Christians, we believed that there was a way that we could get the local church to engage with the community. So we decided that we'd start little football leagues, which led on to a reading programme, then led on to a business enterprise challenge, allowing young people to start businesses, trade for 4 months, and at the end of that time, their work would get judged. In this group, there's going to be one team that wins, but throughout this competition, you will find new skills, new talent. Over the last 7 years, we've been running this, and we've seen lives really change. Those are the things for me that really warm my heart. And I'm not saying that to be just cuddly or, that sounds really good, but there's a reality to that. Scoring a winning goal or changing someone's life, definitely changing someone's life.
Day by day, and with each passing moment, strength I find to meet my trials here. Trusting in my Father's white bestowment, I've no cause for worry or for fear. He whose heart is kind beyond all measure gives unto each day what he deems best. Lovingly, it's part of pain or pleasure, mingling toil with peace and rest. Day by day, day by day, day by day. Help me then in every tribulation, so to trust thy promises, O Lord, that I lose not faith, sweet consolation offered me within thy holy word. Help me, Lord, when toil and trial meeting, it to take as from a father's hand. Father's hand. One by one, the days, the moments fleeting, till at last with Christ I stay.